will be enlightening us more on the importance of record keeping. Our speaker is the CEO, Growth Stack, in charge of business process, an ERP software development company with offices in Lagos and Abuja. Our speaker has assisted hundreds of businesses. He's an entrepreneur. He is a speaker. He's a writer. He has been in this business for more than 8 years with experiences. So with this understanding, I would like us to welcome our speaker in the person of Mr. James, CEO, Business Process, Growth Stack Nigeria. Please drop on the chat box a fire emoji. Let's welcome our speaker, please. Mr. James, over to you.
Thank you very much, Chidima. Thank you very much for that introduction. I want to find out our guests. Can you hear me very well?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for having me. I'm glad to be here. When it comes to record keeping, it's my passion, and when it comes to learning, it's also the areas I don't joke with. So without having to waste your time, Chidima, please, how many minutes do I have for the presentation?
Okay, you have 30 minutes, sir, to present, and then we give room for questions and answer.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome one more time. My name is James. Chidima has already introduced me. So I'll be speaking on the topic, importance of record keeping. We know that record keeping is important to business, but for this seminar, we'll limit our conversation to what the record keeping is about, the principles of record keeping, why is record keeping important in business, as a matter of fact, why are people struggling to keep records, and then what are the recommended ways of keeping record, and then we'll conclude. Yep, so if you have questions, you can put it on the chat or just get ready for the Q&A session. All right, so let's recap a little bit about the life of a businessman. In Nigeria, all the business people I've met are very skillful in their businesses. They can deliver the services. You know, that is awesome. I can really recommend lots of people for businesses to others. Now they also have skills in generating income. Yeah, most business people, they don't lag behind in generating income, even though they don't have enough of it. But I can tell you that all businesses have income at least in a month. They are skillful in spending money, like, you know, they know how to spend a lot. That includes me. That includes so many people here on this meeting. Then also they are skillful in managing people. So a typical Nigerian businessman has the capability to manage people. Of course, you know, we learn a lot about managing people, but in depth in us, we have that gift of managing people. And then a typical businessman in Nigeria has vision. He wants his business to be big. He wants his business to grow in capital. He wants the business to grow, you know, in size. And they all have goals and dreams. But what about record keeping? This is not the case in record keeping when we are describing Nigerian business. I can tell you, one of the reasons banks don't give loans to businesses, especially small businesses, is because there is no record. That is very clear. You can see it all over the news. Banks don't want to give loan to small businesses because there is no record keeping. Is one of those reasons why they don't. And then even government to have interventions, but when it comes to understanding the insights into different businesses, government have issues making planning because there is actually no records from these small businesses. So the skill part of record keeping is lacking, in Nigerian business. Now we all know that if you don't have any record, you don't have business. So no record, no business. If you don't have a record in your business, then you don't have leadership. There's no leadership in that business. And of course, if there's no leadership, there's no growth. And then of course, if you don't have records, you can't get any help from bank. You can't even speak to any investors because they are going to be demanding for records. And then if you don't have records in business, there is really no peace of mind. That's why this seminar is timely, become very important. Now, I want to talk to you, so what is record keeping? So that we can give you a pointer to where we are going. Record keeping is a method of keeping tracks of business transactions and activities, either manually or digital. Now, you also have to know that example of these records could be, business expenses, sales records, customer lists, vendors, employees, even tax document, bank statement, all the reports you have, including emails, and the contracts you sign with people, the pictures you take from field work and all of that. These are all records that you should be keeping in your business. Now, you should know that there's a difference between a document and record. Document is any piece of written information in any form. And then, but record, in the other hand, it means anything in which information is recorded. So we can say that is called record. So now, moving away from that, what are the principles of record keeping? I'll just run through it. Now, you need to know and be sure that whatever record you are keeping has these components, has this. Michael, please, can you mute people that are, their mics are on, or Chidima, because there's a distraction. All right, so these are the principles of record keeping in you trying to keep the records for your business. Please take note of this following. Now, the record must be authentic. It must be possible to prove that that record is what it is. Your record must be accurate, reflecting the transactions that the document shows. So what that means is that you try your best to make sure that your records are accurate, make sure you don't have duplicates information while trying to keep your record. Then also make sure that your records are accessible and available when needed. So sometimes you travel from Lagos to your village to do one or two things, you should have access to your records. Not you are traveling to the village for 2 weeks and your business is in Lagos. How do you access those records? So your record keeping must be accessible. Then it must be complete, must be sufficient content of all of the true information about your business. That record you are trying to keep must be comprehensive. Then it has to be compliant. What I mean by compliance is there are ways to keep certain records. Accounting records has ways of keeping accounting records, tax records, sales records, expense records. So you should know what are the legal framework behind keeping some of these records. Then it should be effective. Record must maintain for specific purpose, and then content must meet those purposes. Then your record must be secure. Very important. Now, so if you are keeping a record and everybody is having access to that record, then your record keeping is not effective. So you should know who should access a particular record and then a particular information in your business. Of course, you know that security of data is very key. Now, why is record keeping important in business? There are many areas we need to look at today. You all know that data is the new wealth, and then insight into, if you have that insight into a good data of your business information, you are halfway knowing the inside information of that industry. So if you are into distribution and you have effective record keeping, then you actually begin to know how distribution business operates and the challenges, because your record will tell you more information about that business. Now, keeping records is usually is a legal requirement, so you should know that by law there's Information Act, so you should be keeping records in case it's being requested at any time. And of course, your record will defend you in law courts. So if you don't have records, you are just you are vulnerable to other competition. Now, why is record keeping important in business? It protects business from failure and keep the owner living a happy life. So if you have a good record in business, your business will not fail. There is no how your business will fail, no matter how the economy is going, because your records will be able to allow you to compare different seasons of the business. Sometimes some businesses during the rainy season, the income will drop, and in the dry season the income will go up. Now, but if you don't have these records, you can't compare this season. And if you don't have records, you might just be making income thinking that you're profitable. Meanwhile, you don't even know that you are spending lots of money way beyond your income. So that way your business is going to fail. Now, other importance of records help achieve business objective, be able to make you set your targets. Why did you open the business in the first place? Have you been able to move towards that direction? You said, okay, you are going to be able to make a certain amount of money at a certain time. Have you gotten to that time? Have you been able to get to that point? You can't tell without records. Now, record keeping can help you secure a loan for a major project. Let's say you want to expand your business and you are looking for a loan from the bank, or even investment houses. Without records, you can't even approach them. They will see you like an serial businessman or woman. Now, so business records help you in business growth and expansion. So when do you decide to expand? When should you open a new branch? When should you hire new staff? When should you advertise your business? When should you reduce your spending? If you don't have records, these are the things you can't take action on. So record keeping is very, very important to a business. So why is it that most business owners don't keep records? Well, I've stated out my own. When I started out in business, these are some of the issues I had. So I'm giving you my own problem. So there are many reasons why people don't keep records. One of the reasons could be inability to separate business and personal finance. So you are making money today in your shop or office or your business, and then in the evening there's a list your wife has to send to you for shopping back home. So you use your income, and then you have to put food on the table. So what do? You quickly transfer money or quickly use your ATM card and then make payments, and you're back home. So inability to separate business and personal finances is a problem. Now, lack of time and procrastination. So people don't have time to keep record. Especially people doing field work. You will be doing work from morning in the field under sun, or in the shop, busy in the market. You've been busy with customers are flogging into your business, money is flowing in, good things are happening. And because of this, you don't have the time to keep records. So you think you're doing well, but according to this seminar, you're not doing well. So lack of time, and sometimes you procrastinate. Okay, I will keep my record during the weekend, and that weekend, that's when you go for your friend's wedding. Before you know it's Monday, you start all over again. So some other reasons could be the fear of mathematics. People don't want to do things with numbers. From school, from primary, secondary, university, everybody runs away from mathematics. Now that you are running a business, you discover that most of your activities are figures, numbers, and then you just don't like numbers and figures. So that fear of mathematics is still there. Meanwhile, that is not supposed to be a fear at all. Okay, so lack of who to report to. This is a big one. Lack of who to report to, like mentors, board of directors, supervisors. So if you are a business owner, you will likely not be keeping record because you don't have who to report to. And in my opinion, people doing business seminars, motivational speakers who are calling people to start businesses and become their bosses are sending a very wrong message. There is nothing like boss. You should even look for, even if you are the boss, look for someone to report to. Set up a board of director. You could use a pastor, you could use your imam, you could use your elder or someone senior that you are, that you respect. You can report to, okay sir, this is how my business is. This month I was able to do this. This month I was able to do this. I noticed that I've not made so much income this month. These are my expenses. I will need your advice on this and that. If you don't have who to report to, there is nobody that will be beating you to keep records. But if you have someone to report to, you know that you can't even get to that person without records. So you will start keeping records. So this is one of the big issues. So I'm now saying, please get a board of directors for your business. You don't need to pay them. You know how to reward them one way or the other. Or you get someone to supervise your business. Maybe an accounting firm. You can get an accounting firm to supervise your business, look at your books, and then give you advice. And then, of course, one of the other reasons why people don't keep record is there is actually no danger they are facing for not keeping record. So because you're not keeping record, no danger, no issue, nobody's coming to beat you, no loss of anything, you don't just keep record. This has been my whole problem, like this, everything here. And I'm sure most of you listening to me now, you will find one or two of this that is also a problem. And we are going to have to find a solution to that. Okay, so also, what are the record keeping strategies I think I can recommend right now? There are more, but let's look at these few. Make sure you balance your accounts daily before you go home. Please try, just try. So if you are closing by 5, then that means you are supposed to close by 5:30, because you close by 5, you should balance your account, write everything on, or make sure you enter everything into the books or whatever record keeping format you're using. Make sure before you do that, before you go home, you do that. So if you are managing a team, if you have staff who is helping you at the shop, market, wherever, or in the office, that is supposed to be the KPIs of those workers. They are supposed to enter the report. So if you don't see the report daily, that should be a penalty, and then you know how to handle that. Now, make sure you review your activity before you start your new day. So if you don't have time to look at reports, then before you start the new day, you should have time. There is nothing like I don't have time. Okay, maybe when you wake up 5 o'clock, you should do that. Okay, 5 o'clock is when you get to work. Okay, wake up 3. You must be keeping records in your business. Now you should learn how to use data in business communication. Now, if you are this person that has to communicate a lot with people about your business, you should be using your data to communicate. Something like, we've been able to make 50% or 20% increase in our revenue, but our expenses are skyrocketed to 30%, and we are not making profit. This time last year, we were able to surpass this profit margin. So you use that kind of data to be communicating. You begin to find joy in keeping records. Now, another strategy is that you need to start using technology to keep records. That, of course, is not an option for larger business. For smaller business, technology might not be an issue. Now, use the most comfortable record keeping method that is unique to you. So maybe your friend is using ERP, you think you should be using ERP. Meanwhile, ERP is very expensive. Or your friend is using Excel when you can actually use something else. So which one is unique to you? Remember, you can't be keeping records where people can go and tamper with the records. So you find your own unique way of keeping records. Then I'll also say that you should get help from experts. there are accounting people who are very specialized in this area of record keeping. Now, so let's look at what are the ways how to keep records in business. So there are papers, you can keep it on with papers, you can keep it in the book, but I will never recommend that method because I have been a victim of keeping records using books or papers. So sometimes the pages will get missing. Sometimes I myself will miss the whole book. Sometimes I just misplace the book anyhow. And sometimes someone can just go to the book and change information without my knowledge. And then so a lot of things, and even if I'm keeping on the book, I have to manually calculate, add them using calculator and be tabulating and be adding the figures together, and sometimes I make lots of errors. So I will never recommend papers, I will never recommend physical book. But if you are using it now, you should continue using it and then find a way of keeping it so that your data will be secure. So I would recommend using Excel. Start from Excel, and then if you have a laptop, you can start from Excel. It doesn't require internet connection. But if you're always on the move, I will recommend you use Google Sheet. These are free platform. Google Sheet is free. As long as you have a Gmail account, you can use that Google Sheet, which is like Excel on a cloud, and then keep your records. Anybody that doesn't have access to your Gmail account cannot see those records. Now, there are free tools you could use to keep records, a lot of them online. When I started out with Excel, and then when I wanted to impress my customers, sending them invoices, there are free tools like Wave App. It's not complete, but at least it can help you record your income and expenses, and then so you can use those free tools. There's Wave App. There is, I think, ZipBook. Yeah, I use those things. And then there are many other ones online, free. You can sign up even today. Now, the other ways you could keep records could be to outsource your data entry to a data entry person or accountant. There are some guys, young guys now, who help companies to keep their books for them. So they come around, you don't have to pay them salary. They just come around maybe in the evening, help you input your data into your Excel or whatever apps you're using. Or maybe weekend, they will come in on Fridays like this, they will come in to help you. Then also accountants, yeah, they do this, can outsource accounting work to an accountant. You don't have to pay salary, maybe weekly pay or monthly, once a week, comes in and check your book and help you keep the record. Then if your company is large, you don't have all of these recommended options, is not enough for you. You need to go with your ERP system. So now those are the ways you can keep records in your business. So my conclusion, I would like to first, let me just show you, for those of you that are running small businesses, when I started out, when I was doing business around 2000, let me just show you the Excel file that I was using to combine my business and my personal life. How was I able to distribute this income? Because before then, I've been running business, I've been doing business, I've been making money, but I never knew where the money was going. Like every time I would be lacking money, every time I don't have enough money. But how did I overcome that? So I made a simple Excel document. This is as far back as 2016. And then, so anytime I have income, so basically this Excel is only for income. So what did I do? I created a section for business. I created a section for personal, so that whenever money comes into my business, like you can see money comes into my business, and then I will save 10% of the money for business expansion. I'll just keep 50% because of the kind of business I was doing. I didn't start with 50, I started with 20, and then I'll use 20% for business management, like marketing and all of those things. So if you add up this now, this gives you 30%. Yeah, so this gives you 80%. So the 20% is now for my family to enjoy, for me to enjoy. Yep. Okay, so how do I distribute? So in the business part, from what I got for business management, I'll keep some of this money for operations, I'll keep money for marketing, I'll keep money for rent and salary, and I'll keep money for social services. So once it lands in my account, there's no breathing space. I distribute this money immediately. Now, so I will now have my own 20% for my own family, for my own use. In my own family, I have an account. I pay tithes. Yep, you should be. I'm not. If you don't believe in tithe, that's not a problem. That's not where we're going. Then I have an account for school fees and rent. I have an account that I don't touch. No matter what, whatever happened, that account can never be touched. So then I have another account for spending. So if those of you are collecting salary, you can also begin to use something like this. So once money enters my hand, what I do is send. So I actually open all accounts for different purposes. How much does it cost to open a bank account? Like €0. I don't know if it costs more now. So I open different accounts for different purposes, for school fees, and then I also have money. So I notice that every time I was having enough money to spend, enough money to go out and enjoy myself. That time I was newly, I wasn't about to marry then. Yes. Okay. So I have enough money to go and enjoy myself. Before now, I was always broke. I was always working day and night. I didn't have good clothes. I didn't have anything to show that I was working. And then this is even a true value of some of the monies I was making. So this is not like, this is a true value. So this is April, May, June, I had up to 8 million, but I wasn't showing. I didn't have anything to show. I didn't have land, I didn't have house, I didn't have anything. But after I started using this Excel, I noticed a change in my life. This is still part of my what I'm talking about. So please, if you need this Excel file, you get in touch with Chidima. She send it for you. You can use it for yourself. Okay, so that's all from me. So in conclusion, I would like to say that record keeping is very, very crucial to any business. You want to prosper in your business, you want to live a happy life, then you must get serious in record keeping. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope this helped someone, and we would like to hear a feedback from you. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Chidima.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. James, for this wonderful presentation. I believe we all will learn something from this webinar, from this presentation today. So if you need help organizing your account, your finance, procurement, manufacturing, why not reach out to Ross with this with the numbers on the chat box? You can get to Ross. So do we have any question? Any question from Mr. James?
Hello, good morning.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I'm sorry I came in a bit late because I was trying to join and then my network was giving issue. I wasn't able to get much, but thank God you have the link that I could get back to you. It's really been helpful, and we are very, very happy that some Nigerians out there care about us and care about how our business grows, how record keeping can affect the growth of our business positively. We really do appreciate. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Any question, please? Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for the information you have just passed to us. I really appreciate. Please, I want the speaker to tell us more about that ERP. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. What's your name, please?
Akon is my name.
Akon, okay, so ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning. That's what we do at Growth Stack. It's what is it's a system for keeping records, but it's very useful for larger businesses. Larger in the sense, larger here means people that have so many workers. Not just workers, so many activities. So if you have so much invoices you are sending, so many records of sales, transactions, and then you have inventory. So ERP as a software combines all areas of businesses into a single software. You have, so if you are running manufacturing business, you have manufacturing, inventory, accounting, human resource, payroll, approvals, so many things are all combined. So the ERP system is for those kind of businesses. But if a small business, I think you just need to start with your Excel and then the free accounting app. But ERP sometimes may just be expensive.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Any other question, please? Okay, so for any inquiry, you can reach us on the numbers on the chat. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Mr. Akano. Thank you, Mr. James. Thank you, Mr. Michael. Thank you, Ms. Mary. You all are welcome. We thank you for joining this webinar.
Okay, have you checked the chat? Have you checked the chat if there's any question? Sorry to interrupt. Or have you given room for anyone else to have questions? Since we still have some minutes left, anybody else have questions that would like to ask?
Sorry, I want to come in here again about those. You said we can get it on the platform, right? Those accounting charts we saw.
Oh yeah, that's for the business.
That's
business and combining business and personal finance, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we'll put it on our website so you can download free. Even those that are receiving salary, I think it's a very good document for you. Just remove the business parts, so you know how to start keeping money so they can enjoy your life, just like I did. So we'll put it on a website. So Chidima, you send them a message with a link to download the documents. It's free.
It's okay, sir. Okay. Any other question, please? Okay, so thank you once more for joining us. We appreciate your presence on this webinar and see you all in our next webinar.
All right, thank you, Chidima, for having me. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.
You have a nice day.
Thank you, ma. God bless you.